Lawn bowling is more than just a game. There's no talking on the green.
Genuine 1972 prices.
And nothing this soft. Stick it right up.
From the wide outdoors to the great indoors. Welcome to Without Bias.
Apia, the go-to insurance for retirees. Call 13 50 50. Get set, go. Local legends wanted. A bowls green is just up the road. Search bowls clubs near me.
Welcome along, bowls fans, to Without Bias for another week. Julian Marcus with you here on SEN, your home of sport. It's for Bowls Australia. Local legends wanted. A bowls green is just up the road. Search bowls clubs near me. And Apia, the go-to insurance for retirees. Called 13 50 50. Get set, go. On this week's show, we have Lynsey Clarke, who's going to be a part of the Right at Home Jackaroo squad for the World Championships. It's her last international bowls event before heading into retirement. And Gary Willis, the national coach for our Right at Home Jackaroos. Right at Home, improving the quality of life for those we serve. But let's start this week with Lynsey Clarke. She's going to be a part of the Jackaroo side for the final time at the World Championships in her home city of the Gold Coast, and she joins us this week on Without Bias. Lynsey, welcome to SEN.
Thank you very much.
So before we get started on the World Championships, a big congratulations to you for taking out the golden nugget at your home club of Club Tweed, a wonderful part of the world. And how's that sunk in over the last little while since you were able to take it out?
Yeah, look, it's I'm not sure it quite has sunk in just yet. So it was just under a week ago. So last Thursday happened to win that. But yeah, a big thrill, obviously. The Golden Nugget's one of the most prestigious and iconic singles events in the world. The field is always first class. So when you win something like that, it's a massive thrill and a massive sense of achievement, I guess. And to do it in front of my home crowd, I had a lot of support there, which does really help when things are getting tough. I had a lot of challenging games through my quarterfinal, semi-final, and the grand final, coming down to the wire as well. So yeah, a lot of home support, which was very good, and a lot of well-run events at Tweed. So very proud member of Club Tweed as well. Was it an event you went into with eyes of winning in mind? Were you hoping to place, or what was your big goal going into that? Oh, look, the Nugget, it's a funny one. You really need to turn up to that event in your best possible form because over the years, if you're even slightly off your game, the field is that strong that you can just get belted. So, I was just hoping to put in a good performance. Obviously, as a prep event for me in the lead up to the World Championships campaign, I was really sort of relishing the opportunity to get some really good match practice against quality opposition, and to have 4 bowls, get some consistency, play some conversions and some good shot play. Yeah, I was just sort of taking it one game at a time. And I suppose when you get to you sort of qualify through your section and get to the finals, that's when it really starts to be real. And I thought, well, someone's going to win it, so why can't it be me? And if it can't be me, someone's going to have to work really hard to get there. So yeah, pretty proud of that effort. It's your first title since 2006 at the Golden Nugget, and you posted a photo with both trophies the other day. Tell us about that you get to have that moment 17 years apart, and here you are again. Yeah, look, that was actually my husband posted that, the vintage trophy versus the new flashy modern one. It's pretty cool. A bit of a spin out, really. It doesn't feel like 17 years had passed since I last won that. So, but just goes to show the competition is so tough. You really do have to be on your A game. I think, when I won it in 2006, I was Lynsey Armitage. I was a fairly fresh new kid on the block, just excited to be there. Whereas this time round, Lynsey Clarke, married, 2 kids, been around a long time now. And I probably experienced my way through it a little bit. I think, just knew maybe what it takes to win through those really tough matches. But quite a journey, and it's a good message, I guess, to anyone out there in the sporting world. Just keep chipping away and never give up, and just keep bringing your best, and you never know. How much confidence does this give you going into Worlds? Yeah, a lot. Look, I know, it was at Tweed, so obviously the greens are different, a little bit different to further up the road north on the Gold Coast greens where we're playing. But just in terms of success, winning's a bit of a culture piece, I guess. So, the more you win, obviously it translates to a feeling of confidence and a sense of achievement. And that's all we can control, really, is how we turn up. And, just feel like I'm in some really good form, really excited to have some teammates. So the singles, it's great, but it can be a lonely game. So I much prefer to to have some teammates alongside me to have a bit of fun with as well. So, yeah, really looking forward to a little bit further prep before we go into camp on the 23rd of August.
Fourth World Championships for you. What's different now as opposed to your first World Championship campaign in terms of how you approach it, your excitement levels, and what you expect? Because you have been there, you've experienced it before. Does it still have that same awe-inspiring moment that you step around and you realise that you're on the biggest stage that you can be?
Yeah, look, I don't think it ever loses that. Well, for me personally, this is my 20th year in the Australian colours, and it never ever loses that thrill of wearing the green and gold and the, I guess, the pride I think you feel to represent a nation, like in such a strong sporting nation. It's a real sense of achievement, a bit of a buzz. I think this time round, I don't know, maybe early days it was more nervous energy and just, I hope I go all right. Whereas this time round, I'm just really excited, excited for the challenge. There's so many great nations out there, but just probably number one feeling is excitement. I think there'll be nerves potentially when the event kind of starts or rolls into action, which is always normal for me. And I always love having a little bit of butterflies. I think that's normal. It just means it means something to me. And just really excited to strap on in and hold on for the ride and enjoy my teammates, enjoy the competition, and hopefully have some success along the way.
It's your swan song as a Jackaroo, and it's also in front of your family and friends on the Gold Coast. So how much will this event mean to you as a whole? And, of course, if you were able to pull off something special and leave with a medal of any colour, what would it mean to you to do that in your final event?
Yeah, look, I think the medals would be obviously the icing on the cake, but again, it's not something we can control the outcome of. All we can do is control how we turn up, and I'm the most prepared for this event that I've been for any other event. My teammates are the same. So it was always my decision when these World Champs was going to be on the Gold Coast, and I made that team in 2020, that finishing on my home turf where I first ever rolled a bowl in 1995, that there could be no better finish. And yeah, my kids, Kenzie, she's 7 now, so she really understands the concept. She's really excited to be able to come watch Mummy compete. She doesn't really care so much about the result, which is nice when things haven't gone so well. I just walk in the door and it's just business as usual as mum. But they're really excited. Harvey's just 4, so he doesn't quite grasp it as yet. But it's going to be great. Husband Brad, my mum, and I've got 3 sisters. I've got a monumental amount of supporters that have seen me grow up from an 11-year-old on the Gold Coast greens all the way through to now. So, yeah, it's going to be epic. It's going to be special. It's going to be one of the biggest world champs of all time. It always has such a great atmosphere, the culture of all the nations coming together and the social aspect as well as the competition. It's a really special time. So, yeah, it's going to be a great vibe on the Gold Coast. I can't wait.
We're speaking with Lynsey Clarke, who's going to be a part of the Jackaroo's side in the World Championships coming up shortly on the Gold Coast. It's all, of course, for APA, proudly supporting Bowls Australia. As you get closer to the event, do you find yourself getting a little bit sentimental, realising that this is coming towards the end of what's been an awesome journey?
I'm not sure. I think, as I said just earlier, that my excitement is that high at the minute that I haven't really thought about what it might be like after the fact. But yeah, I think I don't know, I'm still going to be involved with our Jackaroo's family as a coach. I'm a pathways coach with our young emerging and pathways crew in the state of Queensland. So thankfully, I'm not going to be losing my entire Jackaroo's and the high performance environment as a whole. I think maybe when the next international event comes around and I'm not named in it for the first time in a long time, it might be a little bit of emotional roller coaster that my husband might have to manage. But yeah, for now, I think just looking forward, just getting excited. I think even though it's kind of sad to hang up the Aussie boots, I'm still going to be competing at a high level with my state of Queensland. Love pulling on a maroon jersey and still playing a lot of big tournaments and still feel like I'm playing well. So hopefully enjoying some success. And then getting to have a bit more time at home with my young family. So that's exciting, as well as sad. So, yeah, as one door closes, another one opens, and I'm sure there'll be a few tears when it's all done, and maybe I can look back and reflect. But, yeah, at the moment, just, overwhelmingly excited about the opportunity and challenge ahead.
You mentioned you've got some teammates around you this time. It can be lonely at times on the green, but you're part of the triples and the fours. Tell us about how those crews are coming together as far as your preparation.
Yeah, look, we've got a great side. Our girls' squad as a whole is so strong. So any top 5 that kind of makes the final cut is going to be really, really solid and strong. playing alongside Kelsey Cottrell, so playing third to her in the fours and middle in the triples. She's our skip, our leader, the one who loves the pressure shots and thrives under that kind of environment. And we've played alongside each other for nearly 17 or 18 years now, and we know each other's games inside out. We're great mates. Our kids are growing up together. We live about 1,500 metres from each other. So we've got a really solid relationship, and we're polar opposites in one way, in our personalities perhaps, and the way that we go about things, but we've got a lot of similarities too. So we seem to just gel well and enjoy a lot of success together. And we don't always take it so serious, which can be a good thing when things are getting a bit tough. And then we've got young Dawny Heyman and Christy Christic. So they're both making their World Championship debut at this event. So, again, two really awesome girls that are so talented. So to be following them is going to be a huge privilege. And they're just great girls. Like, we have such a good time. We've got great connections. We know each other's families. We've been through the ups and downs of selections and non-selections and major events. And, it's just a really good vibe, and so excited to finish my Aussie career alongside them.
Well, Lynsey, we wish you all the best. We can't wait to see you out on the green on the Gold Coast, and hopefully you can go out with one more big high in what's been a fantastic career.
Thank you so much. Go the Aussies. And if anyone can get along, we'd love more Aussie support in the crowd August, September on the Gold Coast. It's going to be epic. So thanks so much.
Absolutely. If you can get along to the World Championships, make sure you can on the Gold Coast and support our right at home at Jackaroos. Lynsey Clarke joining us here on Without Bias. It's brought to you by Apia, proudly supporting Bowls Australia and Bowls Australia. Local legends wanted. Search bowls clubs near me. When we return, we'll be joined by Australia's national coach, Gary Willis. Welcome back to Without Bias for Apia, proudly supporting Bowls Australia and Bowls Australia. Local legends wanted. Search bowls clubs near me. Let's take a look at our right at home at Jackaroos, the right care right at home, because we are closing in on the World Championships on the Gold Coast, and the man that is going to lead our right at home Jackaroos onto the green is the national coach Gary Willis, and he joins us on Without Bias. Gary, welcome to SEN.
Oh, thanks for having me.
It's your first World Championships as the national team coach that are just around the corner. How's the excitement levels for you right about now?
Yeah, they're pretty high, I've got to say. We haven't had a World Championship for 7 years. 2016 was the last one. So, excitement, expectations high. We've put a lot of work into it as always. And, we've got some very excited players. So we've got a lot of players actually on their World Champs debut. So exciting times for all.
You took charge at the Commonwealth Games last year. How much have you taken out of the preparation and just the overall execution of that event and taken into this, knowing that obviously there's a big margin of difference preparing for an away Commonwealth Games in Birmingham and getting the opportunity to be on home soil here for the World Championships?
Yeah, I mean, you always take so much away. You always sort of learn. It's never perfect, and I think my sort of major event debut as a coach was a massive learning curve for me, particularly going over to the UK, with COVID around and trying to manage a large team was certainly very different. But I did take so much away, and hopefully I can sort of enhance on what we presented for the players last time around. And we've got ideas that worked and ideas that didn't, so we chucked the ones away that didn't, and sort of work on new stuff that just make sure or ensures that the players are in the best possible frame of mind and best possible place to perform at their best.
How difficult was it at selection for this World Championships? I mean, there's some pretty notable names that have missed out. For yourself and for the crew, how difficult was it to narrow that team down in order to go into this World Championship?
No, listen, it's the most awful part of the job, and it's always very difficult, particularly for us. We've got such a huge depth of talent in the country, and when you talk about sort of our squads where we have 10 men, 10 women, and also our para squad in addition to that, it's highly competitive. So, we could probably pick a couple of teams and do a good job, but the selectors do a fantastic job in gathering their evidence. We have an extensive trial process where we put everyone through their paces. They compete head to head in the positions that the selectors are looking at. We line up matches with other nations. We played Ireland as part of this preparation and a multi-nation series. And, we did everything we possibly can to ensure that the players get the opportunity, first and foremost. And then, it comes down to that awful decision where we've got to pick five out of 10, or halve the squads, whether it's open or para. We cut those squads in half to form the team. And it's an awful situation, but, I think they've picked a wonderful team. I think they'll represent us all well, and it's very encouraging. All of the squads and the non-selected have been super supportive, and it's a wonderful environment to be in, and the culture within the Jackaroos. So, the support all round, really.
You mentioned the para-disciplines. They're entering the program for the tournament, first time that they've ever been a part of the World Championships program. How excited are they?
Yeah, no, Julie, they're really excited. It's wonderful for the sport, for them to sort of be playing their first World Champs under the World Bowls banner, side by side with the Open category athletes, and you'll see just how inclusive the sport is, and how it is a sport for everyone when you see everyone out there playing. People from all backgrounds, and I think it's just it's good to note we've got a couple of debutantes there too, in Jackie and Rob Hudson making their first appearance in a World Champs, as are some of our medalists from the Com Games. They haven't played in a World Champs, obviously, under the World Bowls banner at all. So we've got some experienced players there, and we've got some brand new ones. But to say they're excited is a sort of understatement there. So yeah, they're really looking forward to it.
Speaking with Gary Willis, the Australian national coach, ahead of the World Championships coming up soon, of course, on the Gold Coast. And if you can get along, make sure you do and support our right-at-home Jackaroos, improving the life for those we serve right at home. Your preparation from your standpoint with your high-performance team, Karen Murphy and Ellen Faulkner, what's that been like?
Yeah, listen, you're very lucky, and some great people before me always said to surround yourself with great people, and they certainly are that, and not just Karen Murphy and Ellen Faulkner. I talk about the likes of Rebecca Van Ash and Leah Lazaro. I talk about Claire Turley and Bill Ridderford and all of our team that put so much effort into the preparations just to ensure that our players are in the best possible space to perform. Their priority is it's all about the players, and they've done everything, mate. I can't fault what our HP staff do and bring to the program. They're invested in it, they're passionate, and it's great fun to witness and great fun to be around. It sort of makes my job easy, and you sort of just sit back sometimes and think, geez, how lucky are we as a program, and how lucky are our players to have those people involved and working so hard for them.
In terms of the competition, who do you see as being the strongest in the field?
Australia, of course. That sounds terrible now. I'm only joking. I think we've got to, like I said, we've done the very best we can to put the best team out on the park. I think all of the other teams, the other nations have got stronger. They've got better coaching. They've got more experience. They're just getting better and better all the time, and we've got to come up with new ways to sort of combat that and be better ourselves and just keep working really hard. So I think, there's no particular nations that we look at. They're all tough. Every game's tough. Bowls is a very different sport, and you've got to be good on the day, and it can change from, minute to minute, end to end sort of thing. And we're very mindful of that. We're very respectful of all of our opponents. We just can't wait to match up with them and get into the competition.
So what does the remaining leading time look like for you now as a coach? What's the big indicators, the big things that you need to tick off and work on for yourself and around the squad before your team hits on the green?
Yeah, I think it's just remaining in contact with everyone. Our athletes are super busy at the moment, so they've had a massive program first 6 months of the year. Well, first 8 months of the year. They're still actually, majority of them are actually in competition at the moment as we speak. So they've had a massive year, and I think the priority for me is to see them actually get a little break just leading in before we go into Worlds. So hopefully they get about a 10 or 12 day break, most of them, just where they can put the bowls in the cupboard. They've had enough competition. We've prepared them well. We've gone through an extensive selection process. So I think they're ready to go. I'm sure they're ready to go. we'll come into a camp sort of 5 days prior to the World's kicking off, and then they'll have another opportunity for some match play, for some specific training and working on their own stuff before we kick off. So it's a big process, like it's long days. It's been such a long preparation, and then when you get to the event itself, it's like it's probably not as long days for the players. They get breaks in between with the schedule. It's certainly long days for our staff. But I think, we're in a really good place, and it's just a matter of checking in and also checking in with our extended squad, the non-selected. So that keeps us busy, just ensuring that, everyone's sort of cared for and we're thinking of them sort of thing. So it doesn't just stop there and we just focus on the main team. We focus on everyone and try and keep in touch and communicate as best we can.
All the best for the championships, Gary. Hopefully we get a swag of gold to enjoy at the end of them.
Hope so too. Thank you very much.
So that's it for this week's show. My thanks to Lynsey, Clarke and to Gary Willis, and we wish them well at the upcoming World Championships as part of our Right at Home Jackaroos, improving the quality of life for those we serve. Right at home, the right care, right at home. That's it for this week on Without Bias. It's all thanks to Apia, the go-to insurance for retirees. Call 135050. Get set, go. I'm Julian Marcus. Thanks so much for your company, and I'll talk to you again next week.